Namo Buddhaya. Good morning. This morning I got a request for doing a small discourse or a desana relating to Pheṇapiṇḍūpamasutta, in English called a lump of foam. So this is one of the sutta which is very good, or it has really helped me in getting that Sakkaya Ditthi out of the mind, which otherwise keeps on feeling itself or feeding onto itself. Recently, I had referred this sutta to one of the lady in India, and she was able to penetrate into these 5 aggregates using this sutta, and she was able to attain the state of Sotapanna, wherein one is able to clearly understand these 5 aggregates. That means they're able to penetrate into the 5 aggregates. So I thought it will be good to share that experience and how one is to understand the sutta and go very deep into it. As always, let's begin by showing a sense of gratitude and happiness towards Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddham saranam gacchami. Dhammam saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami. Dutiyampi buddham saranam gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami. Dutiyampi sangham saranam gacchami. Tatiyampi buddham saranam gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami. Tatiyampi sangham saranam gacchami. So now what we will do is, we will first call all the beings to help us in this quest of becoming Sotapanna. There might be chance that we have insulted an Arhat, insulted an Anagami, insulted a Sakadagami or a Sotapanna or any Arya, with knowing or without knowing. Or we might have commented on somebody whether they have attained or not attained. We would have debated a lot, not able to make out what they are. Looking at some of the videos, we might have commented either positively or negatively. All those becomes a bigger obstacles for our own success to reach the Sotapanna state. And even then, if there are people who know Dhamma in a right way or wrong way, or I might feel that my Dhamma is right and another person's Dhamma is wrong, or whatever that is, that again creates mental disturbance. So what I need to do, or we all need to do, is to let go of it and ask for forgiveness. Instead of going by our own assumptions, we can go by the sutta. And this sutta, Pheṇapiṇḍūpamasutta, gives a very clear information, including the lucidity of the language, the example. So we don't have to go and question somebody that are they Sotapanna. And we don't have to have our own doubt whether we are Sotapanna, have we reached Sotapanna. That becomes very clear to oneself. So we need to call all the beings in the samsara, with their body or without their bodies, whether they are right now here or far away or whatever that is, and help them, and also take help from them for our own growth. So this is in Pali, and then I will explain that in English, and then we will start. Samanta Chakkavalesu Atra Gacchantu Devata Saddhammam Munirajasa Sunantu Sogghamoghadam Dhamma Savanakalo Ayam Bhadanta Dhamma Savanakalo Ayam Bhadanta Dhamma Savanakalo Ayam Bhadanta. What it really means is that let the beings in this worldly cycle access the Dhamma of the Buddha to understand what is and what is not, and take the benefit. So whether they are divine deities or humans or anyone who can listen to the Dhamma, may they be able to gain from this discourse of the Buddha, and let them attain the state of Sotapanna at the end of this Pheṇapiṇḍūpamasutta. So let's start on the Pheṇapiṇḍūpamasutta. So after understanding or setting the 5 precepts, that is Pāṇātipātā Veramani Sikkāpadam Samadhiyami, Adinna Dāna Veramani Sikkāpadam Samadhiyami, Kāmeshu Miccāchāra Veramani Sikkāpadam Samadhiyami, Musāvāda Veramani Sikkāpadam Samadhiyami, and finally Suramereya Majjhamavatthaṭṭhāna Veramani Sikkāpadam Samadhiyami. So these are the 5 precepts which should have been established before we really penetrate into this 5 aggregates. And also we need to look at the Nivarana, that is the hindrances or obstacles, or it's actually Nivarana meaning is curtain. So we need to look at Visikiccha first, because we might have the defect of understanding the Buddha and the Dhamma and the Sangha, which I've already covered in my previous videos. I request you to go through that in case of doubt. Then if we remove that Visikiccha, we are Sotapanna. basically, because the Sakkaya Ditthi is also part of that. So Sakkaya Ditthi will go when we reduce the Kamachanda, Vyapada, Thinamida, Kukkucha, Udacha, Kukkucha. So that means Kamachanda is sensual desires, Vyapada is aversion, basically. Then Thinamida is sluggishness, slowness, laziness, or whatever we can put that. Udacha Kukkucha is feeling remorse, feeling worried, anxious. And anyway, Vicikiccha is the skeptical doubt on the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. So we might have a combination of all of this. So today's discourse, we are trying to address Vicikiccha in full and the remaining 4 to a little extent so that we can penetrate. So let's say we have established that and we are ready. So have some deep breaths and calm your mind, just like what is said in the Mahasatipatthana Sutta. So just watch your breath. Don't worry about Anariya, Ariya and all that for time being. Just relax. And then start looking at what is Rupa. So here he says, if somebody were to go to a river, and due to the river, there are places where the water gets stagnated. And we have seen that. And it creates a foam due to stagnation. But if you observe that closely, it'll keep on changing, meaning the bubbles keeps on changing. So the form is one time looking something, another time looking something else, and we might make out some figure out of that form. Sometimes it looks like a bird, or sometimes look like an animal, sometimes it looks like a human, sometimes it looks like a cow or a cat or dog. Just imagine something like that, which is there on the foam. From a faraway distance, it looks as though it is an recognizable object. And this recognition is caused due to nama and rupa, name and forms, because we know what the name is. So we've been told. And we create a form in the mind. Here, if we look closely, this form keeps on changing. As the water pushes it, it creates different shape. So it never remains the same. So the rupa, that is what is recognizable by the sight. Shabda rupa, that is what is recognizable as sound. Gandha rupa, what is recognizable as a smell. Rasa rupa, which is recognizable as taste. Pottabha rupa, recognizable as touch, and Dhamma rupa, recognizable as thoughts. So let's say all of these come together and they form a shape and a structure. So if somebody were to contemplate and examine that very carefully, he will see that it's void of an essence. There's nothing there. Okay. There is nothing I can take a piece of the foam and carry it, because it's just from far away it was looking like some being, and now if I go and really watch it, it keeps on changing. So there is nothing that it has any life form in that, even though it looked something like that, maybe 500 meters away. So I got interested and I went there to have a look at it. Okay. Now, it has 3 characteristics if I can see it. It is essenceless, it's void of anything being there which I can say, wow, this is so nice, it's so beautiful, it's so marvelous, I need to carry it home. That's not true. Then it is hollow. So if I take that foam and I try to do something of it, it just bursts off. Nothing I can do with that. And it is insubstantial, meaning there is nothing I can do to make it look good or to make it look bad. Okay, so I can carry this foam. Let's say I'm carrying this foam in my hand. And I can call it as a baby. So I carried it from a bigger foam and I am having this smaller foam which is like a baby. Now I keep on carrying it and it keeps on changing. So there is no substantiality at all because of the consciousness being there. This is a baby, otherwise it doesn't change anything. So there's something which is changing, that is, its job is to keep on moving, or its nature is to keep on moving. That's what the Rupa Rupa, Shabda Rupa, Gandha Rupa, Rasa Rupa, Pottabha Rupa and Dhamma Rupa is all about. In the same way, just like this foam. Whatever is the past, it's in the memory. So let's say when I was 10-year-old, can I get that foam? No, it's gone. How about 20-year-old? No, sorry, it's gone. How about 30-year-old? Sorry, it's gone. How about 40-year-old? Can I keep it? No. How about yesterday? Sorry. How about 1 hour ago? Sorry. How about 10 minutes ago before I started talking? I'm sorry. So all of that is in my memory, past. What about the future? How will this 5 thing going to work? Sorry, I cannot predict. What touch I'm going to have in the future? I'm sorry, I have no idea. What sight I'm going to have in the future? What sound I'm going to get in the future? What taste I'm going to get in the future? What thought I'm going to get in the future? None of that I can have. And what about the present? Same thing. How about internal? This is my foam, and that is a different foam. Let's say I have another human being sitting in front of me. That's also a foam. And if there are 10 beings, 10 foam. Can be a human form, a foam looking like a human, a foam looking like a cat, a foam looking like a dog, like that. So it can be internal, it can be external, it can be coarse, a gross, or a fine, or it can be inferior, or it can be superior, or it can be near, or it can be far. And when you examine carefully, if I have an eye to see that, it is just like a foam. So what I need to do is I need to penetrate into this nature. So if I see my own skin, it has filled with holes. It's like a sponge. It looks solid. If I press it, I can feel softness, and if I were to press hard enough, I can feel hard of the bone. My whole body is like that. And another thing, it looks solid, but if heat is there, I start to sweat. That is, water comes out. And there are millions of holes for the sweat to come out. So basically, if I see the body, it has the shape and color, which is the Pathavi Dhatu. And then there is watery element, Apo Dhatu. And there are breath and different kind of gases, which is Vayu Dhatu. And there is temperature, Tejo Dhatu. So there's no person. It's only a personality, nothing else being there. So, and personality changes based upon whatever the situation is. So it appears for that person who has a good eyesight, it's void. That means without any essence there. Hollow, because if I press my own skin, what do I get? If I have hairs, it looks rough. If I'm a female, no hairs, it seems smooth. And if the outside temperature is hot, then the sweat will come. If the outside temperature is cold, no sweat is going to come. But it looks like a sponge, nothing else. A sponge cut in a way with color and a structure. And because of the consciousness, it can walk, it can sit, it can stand, and all that, just like a robot. And what is that substance you can find to say it is myself and mine in that form, that I was seeing it yesterday, this was me yesterday, this was me 1 year ago, this was me 10 years ago, this was me 20 years ago, this was me 30 years ago, this was me 40 years ago. Does that make any sense? This is what I need to contemplate for becoming Sotapanna, because this is where I can see the Sakkaya Ditti. The Ditti that I am the person who was there in the past, I am the person who is there in the present, and I will be the person being in the future. Now I say that, okay, where is this Chakku? Where is this Sota? Where is this Ghana? Where is this Jivha? Where is this Kaya? And where is this Mano? Meaning, where is the eye? Where is the ear? Where is the nose? Where is the tongue? Where is the body? And where is the mind? So if I look at my childhood, so-called childhood, then I don't find it. Everything has changed. That rupa, that sponge has changed. The eye has changed. The ear has changed. The tongue has changed. The body has changed. The nose has changed. The mind also has changed. All of that is not there at all. So let's say I have a t-shirt and a pant when I was 5-year-old. Can I fit into that? No, not possible. But it's mine. I'm sorry, that body is not there any longer. So this is what I need to do on the rupa. So this is the contemplation. So you need to examine that with all of your life events so far and see whether there is any substantial thing there. If you find something substantial, then it's beautiful. If you find nothing substantial, and that's the reality, that is where this Pheṇapiṇḍūpamasutta is going to work out for you and also for me. In the same way, the second one, the Vedana, the feeling. So let's understand what it is all about. Let's say I love to be in rain, and there's another person who doesn't love rains. Okay, so I am from tropical climate and I love to enjoy the rain. What it means by enjoying the rain is that I would love to go out and stand in the rain. Now when I stand in the raindrops which fall on my body, it actually pierces my body. But the mind, if it likes, it will start loving that pain and makes it pleasure. But it is just water droplets which are falling. If it's not rain, I can stand below the shower. Some people love shower and they will put fancy kind of showers because they love it, and they make the water come at high speed, jet speed, so that they can have a good massage under the shower. But actually what is happening, these water drops are falling on the body, and the body has sense of touch, meaning the skin has a sense of touch, and it touches and falls down. That's all it does. So it is actually opaque, that is equanimous. That water droplet doesn't have anything other than just falling, and the body touch is just equanimous, meaning it just falls and it goes away. But the person, like example I gave, myself, and this self enjoys the rain or the shower, and he feels very happy. The feeling is coming from there is sukha, pleasure. And the same thing for a person who doesn't like the rain drops falling on his body and doesn't like the jet showers, will be in pain. So one person having pleasure, another person having pain, another person who doesn't care about it is neutral to that rain or to that shower. So if a person were to come and ask, hey, how was the shower? The pleasurable person will say, wow, it was one of the amazing thing I ever had. And if a person were to have a very aversive attitude towards the shower or the rainfall or the raindrops, he would say, my goodness, this is horrible. It was pinching me all the time because I don't like this shower at this jet speed or the raindrop. What about a person who is neutral, who doesn't care much? He says, I don't know, just the water dropped and I have no idea. I did not feel anything, to be honest. So basically, if we see, it just pops up and goes away, but the feeling is different. And he would see what is there in the bubble. If somebody has a very good eyesight, what it is there. As soon as it touches, it bursts open and goes away. Again it touches, bursts open, goes away. And that's what the feeling is all about. It just bursts and go away. But I treat it as my experience. And that's the problem. So now what I do is, I will say last year when I was in this place, I had a nice waterfall and the fountain was so good, or that waterfall was so good, I was below that waterfall. My goodness, what a pleasure I got out of it. So it is going to the past. Then I'm right now enjoying the waterfall is present, and I would love to enjoy this kind of waterfall in many different places. So like in Colorado Spring, on this place or that place, Australia, New Zealand, Sri Lanka, India, Myanmar, wherever I go, I would love to have different forests, Amazon forest and this forest, and go and stand below the waterfall because I love it. Or I want to stay in this kind of a hotel and that kind of a hotel, or this kind of a resort or that kind of resort, and enjoy the shower. Maybe I'll go to Maldives, Seychelles, Mauritius, and all of these places where I can enjoy the showers, the different kind of showers. So this is what the mind would do, meaning predict the future, that how it's going to enjoy that. But if a person who is aversive to that wouldn't like the past experience of being in that waterfall or shower, is finding it very hard for the present, and it doesn't want that to happen in the future. So this is the Vedana, the feeling is all about. So a person with good eyesight will not get attached with the past experience, because there is no past experience of that. Can you really think, like in my case today, this morning I had my bath. So can I think how the shower was? Can I bring that back as experience? Yes, only in the mind, only in the memory. So it just dropped and went away. Now, some of the drops I would have memorized it and I feel very happy about it. Some of the drops I have not at all memorized it, so it becomes neutral. Some of the drops I didn't like it. Let's say it fell on my eyebrows. I didn't like it. Some of the water fell into my eyes. That water bubbles. I didn't like it. Some of it went into my ear. I didn't like it. But some of it fell, the hot water fell into my, let's say, the shoulder. I love it because I had slight body ache, and then if I put that, if the water drops were to fall there, I love it. What about my spine or my back? Okay, I love it. Wherever there is pain, I love it. Wherever there is no pain, I'm really neutral to it. So that means the body pain is there, and where this water falls, I'm going to make it a pleasurable experience, because it's seemingly getting rid of that pain. So let's say I'm in a tropical climate. If I'm having a cold shower, I feel very relaxed. But actually what it is doing, it's just a bubble. It just gets burst out, nothing else. So the Vedana just get burst out, just like these water droplets. Then we come to the third one, the Sanya. Now here is what you need to really think, not the Vedana. What you need to think is, or investigate, contemplate, is on the Sanya. Do you by any chance get a girlfriend in your life, or a boyfriend in your life, a wife in your life, or a husband in your life, son or daughter or anything at all, job, company name and all of that, right? So can you get it like an object? Try it out and see, you'll never find it. That's what he explains here, that it's like a person going in a desert, and due to the afternoon, a mirage appears. And if somebody were to observe it, it's completely void, hollow and insubstantial. So there's no substance there to say it is mine. or me rather. That's what the Sakkaya Ditthi is, a me in that. Now let's look at myself, my thing, right? So if I try finding out where is Anagarika Vilas, which part of the body is Anagarika Vilas? It's not there. Anagarika Vilas is husband of somebody. Where is the husband? You'll not find it. That's a mirage. And Anagarika Vilas stays in so and so place. If you try finding it, you will find the names given to it, but you will never find the actual place. So on a geographical location, we have named something. And that something is what we are in search for. So that's the aspect we need to really investigate. More than the Vedana, we need to investigate the Sanya. Because this is where we are creating the names and try to symbolize them. This is called Nimitta. So we symbolize. And that if you are able to penetrate properly, you will become a Sotapanna immediately. Because that is where we are thinking about my existence in the past, my existence in the future, my existence right now. Whether it's gross or subtle, whether it is like what we did for the Rupa, that is, whether it's internal, external, whether it's coarse, whether it's fine, whether it's inferior or superior, or it's near or far. What we really find is that it's just a naming convention. But really you'll like, you know, if I'm a friend, let's say I is a friend and I is an enemy, I is a neighbor, I is a brother, I is a husband, I is a son. All these are just nomenclatures, but you'll never find that person what I'm searching for. Let's say I'm searching for a brother. I will say as a relationship, I am a brother of so and so. But really, can I find brother in my body? Can I find brother at all? No, it's just a label. So all the labels are Sanya. That is what the shimmering light, which is the mirage. So these labels are like shimmering lights. It looks real, but when you try to touch it, you will never find it. The name given to me by my parents, I never asked for it, but yes, it's there. So then if I was unmarried, then it's called unmarried. If I'm married, I'm called as married. And then what happened to that person? That person is gone when he's married, because now I'm a husband. And what happens when the marriage breaks down and I divorce? So then I become a divorcee. And let's assume that I'm a divorcee. Now I'm ready to get married. And again I get married, the divorcee goes away. Then instead of that, I again become a husband. So we keep on changing the designations or the label. So the thing what we need to contemplate is on the Sanya, the symbolization, the labelization. If you are able to get rid of labels and not worry about the past and the future and the present, not about the near and far, not about internal and external, not about coarse or fine, if you are able to get rid of that, that is, I existed in the past as so and so, as a child, then I existed as a or infant, and then the child, and this and that, and adult, and like that. And also I was having so many friends, and now I don't have, and then I have more enemies, and I have this, I have that, or whatever it is. So if we were to let go of that idea in the mind by contemplating, constantly contemplating on it, you would get to see what lies underneath. So he will contemplate on the all kind of perception, examining it carefully, and it appears to them, to that person with a good eyesight, that it is full of void, hollow and insubstantial. And the next, sankhara. What is sankhara is actually what we call as free will. So willful actions or fabrications or certain things what we do with knowing what we are doing. That is, I am interested in doing something. So he gives an example here that supposing somebody wants a heartwood, and they look at a big, there's not a tree actually, but it seems to be to him as a tree. And then he sees it like a very nice one, free of defects. They cut it down the base and they cut off the top, and they start unroll the coiled sheets. They cannot find any wood there. It keeps on eliminating. That is, you get a small layers. One layer after layer, another layer, another layer, another layer, another layer, and ultimately you're exhausted all the layers. So there's nothing there. So they couldn't find a heartwood. What they found is nothing. So all our free will actions of whatever we have done, what we can observe is when you go for a sleep in the night, all your actions are made to ground zero. All those actions, free will actions from morning till night, the toiling what we have done from morning till night, when you go to deep sleep, it just vanishes. And the next day you are back doing the same thing. And this is one another area other than the sanya, what one needs to contemplate. What am I doing from morning till night? And after I go to sleep, what happens? All of those sankharas are gone. Good sankharas, that is punyabhi sankhara, apunyabhi sankhara, anenjabhi sankhara. These are three sankharas what you have. That means the punyabhi sankhara is skillful, willful action. Apunyabhi sankhara, unskillful, willful action. Anenjabhi sankhara is the jhanic stages, what has been achieved. From first jhana to the eighth jhana is the anenjabhi sankhara. So when a person goes to sleep, none of this sankharas, willful action, fabrication are going to be there. They all are gone and without a trace. Let's say I met a friend, that is gone. Let us say I went and did a mountaineering, that's gone. Then let's say I went and I cooked a lot of food to eat, that's gone. I did some research paper, that's gone. I got a Nobel Prize, that's gone. When I sleep, it's gone. All the effort. I passed an exam, that's gone. I married, that's gone. I divorced, that's gone. I had a child, that's gone. So all of those activities, sankharas, which were done, are completely eliminated. Just like somebody searching for heartwood in a banana tree, where there's no tree. It looks like a tree, but it's not. So this is one area what somebody has to do that. And finally, the vijnana, which is like a magician. This is where we get that experience of yesterday, tomorrow, and today. So it's like a magician on a crossroad and is performing a lot of magical tricks. What is the first magical trick he does? He will make sure that your name can carry many designations. That's the first magic trick. So you're a father, you're a brother, you're a neighbor, you're a friend, you're an enemy, you are rich, you're poor, you're long, you're short, meaning you're tall, you're short, you're fat, you're lean, you're black, you're Hispanic, you're brown, you're fair, like that. You have blue eyes, red eyes, green eyes, yellow eyes, or whatever eyes, sorry, brown eyes, black eyes, like that. Sharp nose, twisted nose, bleached up nose. Each body part can be made, and then we can say, oh, this geographical region will have this kind of people, this geographical region, this kind of people. They're tall, they're small, they are short, they're fat, they're lean, hairs, all of that. This is what the magician can do first. Then he can attach the designations, like the father, mother, brother, sister, friend, enemy, all of that. Smart person, dumb person, intelligent person, all of that. Rich person, poor person. A third one, based upon that designation, the person attaches himself to be feeling that I am that. Okay, this is the Vijnana, what it can exactly do. So a person with a good eyesight can watch it carefully and see that it are just designations. There is no essence in that. If I am standing here, I become a father, I also become a son for somebody else. And that's how this magician is. There are no two people there. There's only one person acting as a father and acting as a son. And that's the reason it's a magician. So this is tricky, but if you have done very well on the sanya and the sankhara, this becomes very easy, because then you can see how this magician plays from morning till night, giving you different experiences. So the Vedana, the feeling, is because of this consciousness, Vijnana. The Rupa is because of this consciousness, because it connects the eye with the sight. So chakuncha paticcha rupe upajjati chakku Vijnanam. That is, the eye and the rupa is connected by this Vijnana. And paticcha, that is depending upon the eye and the rupa, that is the sight, consciousness gets generated. And what does the consciousness do? It will allow you to designate something. And the designation is a sanya. So what I need to first understand, the designation, which is symbolization, which is sanya. If I can penetrate into the sanya, if I penetrate in the sankhara for Sotapanna, Vijnana, Rupa and the Vedana, we can penetrate all of them. Then you will see the ditti, that there is a person sitting there, is gone forever. The Sakkaya ditti is really broken. So this is what I wanted to talk on this. Hope this helps you in understanding. And also, if you are finding difficulty on this, what you need to do is you need to go through the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, that is Iti Piso Bhagava and all that, what I have made another video, which is most important for us to see whether we have any doubt there. Then we need to look at the Kamachanda, Vyapada, Thinamida, Udacha Kukkucha, to see how much that can be reduced, those hindrances, Nivarna. And if that reduces, then we will be able to understand the Anicca and Anatta nature, which brings in the Dukkha. We might get into the Anatta nature, which is no personality, because the personality changes based upon what we just now discussed on the Rupa, the Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. So based upon that, it changes. So then we'll come to know the anicca, and because of that we can see the dukkha. We can penetrate into the first noble truth, and then the second noble truth becomes very easy for us to understand about what's the reason for this, why the dukkha arises. And for a Sotapanna, this much is sufficient, because now he has seen all the 5 aggregates. He has understood what is happening on the rites and rituals, and he has no doubt on the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Thank you very much. May this help you to attain Sotapanna, and may all beings who have assembled here also gain from this discourse. Do let me know on what you feel, or if you have any questions surrounding this. Thank you. I'm ending the session.